Hello and welcome to Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Bruggman from the City of Bryan's Communications Department.
And I'm Sandy Farris from Bryan ISD. This week we'll show you how some Bryan students benefit from the Junior League Stuff the Bus event, and we'll tell you how our athletes are coping in this summertime heat.
And we'll give you all the latest news of things that have happened here around the City of Bryan, and we'll tell you about a new campaign that we're working on with our 911 program. But before we get to those stories, here's a look at some of the construction projects you may see around the city. The orange fence and cones that are markers of construction work seem to be all over the City of Bryan this summer. All of the projects are efforts to update an aging infrastructure, and some of the work being done is because of the Capital Improvements Plan. One of those CIP projects is the new sidewalks on Martin Luther King Jr. Street. The new sidewalks run east from Highway 21 all the way to Highway 6, and that project falls in Single-Member District 2, which makes Councilmember Paul Madison a happy man.
We have 5 schools off of MLK. We have 5, and prior to this time we had young elementary kids who had to walk into the streets, but now our young people are able to walk to and from school without getting into the streets. They can even ride their bicycles on the sidewalk.
Where the sidewalk project ends, a TxDOT project starts up. That's over on Highway 6 at the brand new Old Reliance Bridge. Once it's completed, the bridge will have 4 lanes, 2 to travel east towards Rudder High School and 2 to travel west to MLK Street. There will also be 2 turn lanes and pedestrian walkways on the bridge. The bridge should be finished sometime this fall. Back closer to downtown is the City Hall Annex project. This CIP project is a facelift of the old PD building. Basically, the interior is being gutted and reconstructed for office space. Also, the entire building is undergoing an energy efficiency update thanks to a grant the city received. New windows and a new air conditioning system are being paid for by the grant. The City of Bryan's Human Resources, Risk Management, Finance, and Code Enforcement departments are expected to move into the building by the beginning of next year. Well, Sandy, I know a lot of folks down at the school district are very excited about the new bridge.
We really are. We know that'll help the traffic flow around Rudder High School and Rayburn Middle School as well. For our next story, we check in with the Bryan College Station Junior League and learn how we are benefiting from their efforts with the recent Stuff the Bus supply drive.
For the past 10 years, the Junior League at Bryan College Station has conducted the Stuff the Bus annual school supply drive. This year, KBTX teamed up with the Bryan College Station Junior League to support the organization's annual campaign. Thanks to community involvement, the drive helps to provide school supplies to hundreds of students in the Bryan College Station school districts.
The community of Bryan College Station has really stepped up and opened their arms to take care of the Stuff the Bus project. They have made cash donations, they've made donations of school supplies. We have hundreds of hours of volunteer work that have been put towards our project, and it's really exciting to us in Junior League to see the support that our community gives us. And I think that they're all willing to support the kids in our community because they know that those are the kids, or those are the people that need the most help in this case, and they like to start with the ground up and create good students through the work that we do. Stuff the Bus focuses on kindergarten through 5th grade, so we do focus on elementary. However, we do supply school supplies for middle school and pre-K as well, but our main focus is kindergarten through 5th grade.
We are greeting the community members as they come in to drop off, whether it's a donation of school supplies or donating a check or money to the Junior League to purchase supplies for the upcoming school year.
Once all the supplies are gathered, they're taken to schools for distribution to qualifying students.
The Junior League and Bryan ISD warehouse staff participate in distributing the supplies to all of our pre-K through 8th grade campuses, and each campus then has their own special way of getting the supplies to the students in a very gentle, discreet way, because we want to protect the kids' privacy and their need for extra help. And we have 7 out of 10 of our Bryan ISD students are on free and reduced lunch and need the extra help to come to school ready to learn. Basically, they'll end up with 10 basic supplies, the things they need to start school off, like crayons, markers, pencils, pens, notebook paper, and when you go to the store, you'll notice that that's quite expensive these days, those just basic supplies.
Enough school supplies were collected in one day to provide 1,200 students in Bryan College Station with the necessary supplies to begin the school year. Over 6,000 individual school supply items and over $2,000 were collected. Thanks to the dedicated volunteers and a giving community for making this year's Stuff the Bus drive a success.
Well, Sandy, I know that the school supply items are always a big need in this area, so that's a great program.
It really is, and if people miss donating this time, they can find some boxes around town, or they can donate directly to the school of their choice.
Coming up next, we'll show you a couple of the news items you may have missed that happened here in the city of Bryan. On August 1st, members of the Bryan Police and Fire Departments met up for the annual Guns and Hoses softball game. Proceeds from the game went to charity, and this year the police department took home the Shield Trophy, winning 7-5. The city's IT director, Gus Roman, recently became the first governmental IT official in the state to graduate from the nationally acclaimed Chief Information Officers program at UNC Chapel Hill. The program was 12 months long and included 240 hours of coursework. And the city's website, bryantx.gov, received one of several top city government website awards from juggle.com. The city's website is maintained by webmaster Sean Smith.
With football season approaching, our athletic trainers are making sure our student athletes are being kept safe and healthy during this Texas heat.
It wouldn't be Texas without extreme summer heat arriving just in time for high school football two-a-day workouts. Many coaches and players are used to practicing in the heat, but that doesn't make them immune to heat-related illness. Athletic trainers do several things to deal with the extreme temperatures where the heat index can reach well over 100 degrees.
At one time we have anywhere from 100 to 160 gallons of water on the fields at one time, and obviously we refill those as they become empty. To help distribute that water, we have student athletic trainers who do a spectacular job of following each group around and making sure that the athletes always have water available to them, and the coaches allow them to step out and take a drink when they need to. Coach Pierre is really good about having breaks and making sure the athletes are staying hydrated. All the coaches do a really good job of that. We also have sponge buckets that the athletes can squeeze ice water over the top of them down their shoulder pads to try to help keep them cooled off. And then obviously we take breaks during the day to help get the athletes recovered between practices.
So hop, bam, bam, there it is right there. Good job, here we go.
Athletic trainers are constantly on the lookout for players that may be showing signs of heat exhaustion.
You know, exertional heat illness has several signs. The first signs that we see with any kind of heat illness problem is typically just that feeling of maybe being a little bit dizzy, a little bit lightheaded, and maybe some muscle cramps. Those are typically the first signs that we see associated with an exertional heat problem. And most of the time, if we catch it early enough and we see those symptoms, we can treat it very easily with just moving the athlete into a cooler area, getting them out of the direct sunlight into some shade, you know, trying to force some water and fluids to rehydrate a little bit, and we can typically resolve the problem before it becomes big. Occasionally we'll have an athlete that maybe is experiencing some of those symptoms, but we don't see it right away, and they don't tell anybody right away, and we'll have a little bit more of a larger issue on our hands if they have some muscle cramps that aren't going away. Maybe they start getting sick, nauseated, upset to their stomach, have diarrhea. Some of those are a little bit more of the advanced symptoms that we notice with heat illness. And when it gets to that point, we really have to work on making sure we get that core temperature back down. You know, that's the problem with heat illness, is that you have an elevated core temperature and your body's not able to regulate that the way it's supposed to. And we have to combat that by using an ice bath or drinking plenty of fluids, cold towels around the neck to try to lower some of that core temperature down. Ultimately, if those methods aren't helping, then we have to send the student to the hospital to get an IV fluid to replenish that fluid and get the core temperature regulated. This time of year, it's a little more common than we would like to see some of these heat problems. But with the amount of fluids and water and Powerade that we have in the athletes out here on the field available to them and in the locker room after practices, we don't see it every day. We don't even see it every week. Typically, we see it in an athlete that maybe didn't drink enough yesterday, didn't eat breakfast, and comes out and participates. We may see a problem like that, but typically they're pretty easily resolved with as long as it's caught early, with replenishing fluids and getting into a cooler environment.
Every day, the Bryan 911 call center receives calls about things that aren't emergencies, and now the Bryan Police Department is trying to put an end to that problem. The Bryan 911 call center has received calls about a fish being washed down a sink, a toilet with a spraying leak, and even a call about a food order. It's these kind of calls that the police department is trying to stop.
What it really comes down to is public safety, because when resources are diverted away from true emergencies, that just means less first responders to answer the call for people that really need help.
So what number do you call if you want to contact the PD?
We would like you to call our non-emergency number 209-5300. If it's a question regarding some other city service, 209-5900.
To hammer home that point, we've created several PSAs that hopefully reinforce that message. The first one is a reminder that police officers serve as emergency responders, not any other job.
Here's your pizza, man.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
I'm not a pizza delivery guy.
Do you see anything yet? Did you find it?
Here's your ring.
Oh, thank you. You're a lifesaver.
I am not a plumber.
Okay, I got this. It's going to be hot down in this area right here, and I am not a weatherman.
Your officers are not plumbers, pizza delivery men, or weathermen. Please keep 911 for emergencies only.
This second PSA is about a year old, but we figured it'd be worth showing again.
I don't know what's that.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, my emergency is I need a PPV. This MMA fight. I'm ready to go.
911, what's your emergency?
My power is out and I was on level 9!
Don't call 911 unless it's a real emergency. You waste our dispatcher's time and you tie up our phone lines.
This last one is an actual recording unfortunately received right here in Bryan. The following is an actual Brazos County 911 call.
911, what is the address of the emergency?
I like to order a cheeseburger.
I'm sorry?
I like to order a cheeseburger.
This is 911.
911?
Yes, sir, this is
What
911.
Nitty 911?
Yes, sir, this is 911.
This ain't Nitty 911?
No, sir.
Remember, 911 is for actual emergencies. Now we'll send you downstairs to the council chambers for our council update.
At our most recent City Council meeting on August 10th, the Council agreed to ratify a grant application for Project GreenVax. The Department of Defense has committed more than $39 million for the project, a manufacturing plant that would create flu vaccines from tobacco plants. A facility is scheduled for construction on Highway 47 near the Texas A&M Health Science Center campus. The grant application requests $2 million from the Texas Military Preparedness Commission to support a Department of Defense requirement that part of the funding come from non-federal sources. This is a major project for the community since it will provide 150 immediate jobs and will be the genesis for future local growth on the city's west side. As always, if you'd like to watch a council meeting in its entirety, you can log on to bryantx.gov.
Well, that's all the time we have today. I'm Sandy Farris.
And I'm Bruggman. Thanks for watching. And don't